Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Kelleen Maluski, and I am an engagement librarian at Sage Publishing. Previous to joining Sage, I had over 20 years of experience working in academic libraries. I'm thrilled to be here discussing the topic, The Floodgates Are Open, Now What? Upscaling Critical AI Literacy. Before we begin this presentation, I do want to point out that all resources from today, including a PDF of these slides, can be found at the Zotero library we created. You can go to that library by using the QR code on the screen or going to bit.ly/SageHLA25. That's bit.ly/S as in Sam, AGEH as in hello, LA25. With only 20 minutes today, I want to be clear that what we want to do with this presentation is plant a seed of a discussion on important topics related to AI and help point out resources that can assist library workers in the pursuit of essentially flying the plane while building it. We will do a cursory review of the current climate of AI. And for the sake of time, I also want to make it clear that while we know there are nuances in types of artificial intelligence, I will not be going in depth with that in this presentation. Then we'll discuss some issues surrounding the speed of these changes, including the acknowledgement that AI is not new, a brief discussion of how we can address these needs with critical analysis and thinking, and lastly, display some resources from Sage Learning Resources that can assist you in upscaling your own work and learning while also being beneficial to use in the classroom or reference consultations. We know AI isn't new. But we also know that the changes currently taking place are happening at a speed outpacing previous developments in the field. If we look at the history of advances in AI, and IBM did create a timeline of the history of artificial intelligence, which is in the Zotero library, we know that while, yes, the history of AI is a long one, and librarians, technologists, and other entities have been studying and developing it since even before the 19th century, the pace of the changes we have seen, particularly in generative AI, in the past 4 years alone has been astounding. The IBM timeline jumps from a 50-year time frame to a 30-year one, then elements of 20 before dividing from 2021 to present. As with any newer information system resource or change, it can feel like the speed at which tech corporations and other entities are building and releasing these materials is not in line with a pace that would allow for critical analysis and thoughtful consideration of how to embed them into research and education. That leads us to the inherent issues that exist when, and just because I figured we needed one more metaphor here, we try to make the chart of our map while still deep within the woods. We are dealing with a lack of clear guidance and policies to assist us in finding our way to good and thoughtful approaches to embedding AI into our research, workflows, and teaching. And yes, librarians and libraries are and should be at the forefront of developing these policies and guidance. But that doesn't negate the fact that not having these resources operational yet, or just now developing them, means we are encountering unique issues, such as having to teach our learners about policies and procedures that we ourselves haven't been strategically educated on. In Hawaii and across the board on an international scale, libraries and higher education institutions are responding. On this screen, we see some important statements, announcements, and policies that have been impacting how libraries use and discuss AI. Here we have some screenshots of news regarding the University of Hawaii Manoa offering a master's in artificial intelligence, the Association of Research Libraries Artificial Intelligence priority page with links to toolkits and best practices. This is in addition to the State Department of Education and the state law library system issuing recommendations and important considerations for use of AI tools. We in the library profession know that there are positives and negatives associated with all of this. As with any information system resource or change, there are ethical, moral, and labor rights considerations, to name a few, that need to be balanced when utilizing these tools and when teaching how to use them. And of course, librarians and librarians in Hawaii specifically are right there providing resources for their learners to help demystify AI as much as possible. But that's a lot of work. And maybe you're struggling to stay on top of it all in conjunction with all your other work. Or maybe you feel great about it all and are excited to do more on your favorite research and scholarship endeavor. Or perhaps you're pretty neutral about it, but are wanting to know things you could do to continue feeling on even footing. No matter how you are feeling about it all, in this quote from Nicole Murph's recent article entitled Beyond Information Literacy, Exploring AI's Impact on Labor and Academic Libraries in Library Trends, we get a glimpse into the crux of the issue. Additionally, she later goes on to say about when asking colleagues how they think this technology will impact jobs, I received minimal responses. I think primarily because no one really knows. In addition, people are already maxed out by their workloads and find it challenging to devote time to a deep dive on the subject, despite the fact that the subject is a huge ethical concern for many. Some libraries, such as University of Hawaii, are taking a system-wide approach to AI, and some are doing systematized trainings. But this is not the majority at this point. And again, even those institutions have announced their programming just this year. This is all compounded by problems such as not having a clear policy from an overseeing organization that we can point to. We saw ARL's policy screenshot earlier, but there are also policies from ACRL and IFLA, to name just a couple others. And that is just looking to library organizations and their stated needs and best practices. As librarians, we of course know we must also contend with the variety of other organizations and institutions, as well as competing needs and priorities. For instance, we must teach citation styles, but we are seeing even in that realm, an attempt at clear communication has led to even more confusion with the latest attempt by Blue Book. Another important consideration and topic of discussion for many librarians has also been how we are passing down policy on how to use AI tools to our students that the faculty themselves don't adhere to and aren't required to. An example being the use of AI tools to review papers to see if students used AI. So, how do we as the librarians, as information professionals, teach and create research in such a climate? So, while we can't solve all of this in a 20-minute presentation, I do want to point out a few steps we can all be taking to meet the challenges now and ahead of us in relation to AI. To start with, make sure you are reviewing your institution's policies on AI. These might be changing rapidly too, so you might want to consider setting an alert for changes or bookmarking the page and referring to it frequently. There might be more than one policy, and it's possible your campus or library network has a policy and your individual library or department does too. Ask the questions you need to know which materials you should be keeping up with. Another important consideration is to review the policies of the vendors, publishers, and partners you work with in relation to AI. This is useful if you are the one working with these agreements, of course, but it can also help to understand the nuance in the policies being set forth by the different entities that you work with and the stakeholders it will impact. And keep in mind, many providers of information are working within the same space as you, adjusting and pivoting to a rapidly changing environment. So remember that these are your collaborators, and working with each other can help to more robustly tackle the challenges in front of us all. Do what librarians do best: critically evaluate the landscape. As we've already discussed, some of you are probably feeling overwhelmed right now, and that's normal in this time of change. And let's be real, it's pretty normal for the profession as a whole. But the literature is starting to come out in the profession pretty regularly. Is there a specific news source you want to use for this information? How can you not just receive the information, but evaluate it all? This now takes us to upskilling your own learning and knowing where to go to quickly get the answers you need. With how much librarians have on our plates, this can seem daunting, but let's talk about some resources that can help to make that feel more manageable. At Sage Publishing, as a leading social sciences publisher, we know the importance of staying on top of current trends within research practices. I am excited to show you some of the point of need resources from Sage Learning that will assist you in upscaling your own knowledge on, teaching about, and directing learners to discover how to ethically and efficiently utilize AI. Across the entire Learning Resources suite, there are online courses, case studies, videos, skills modules, and more that have your and your learners' backs. A quick search for AI or artificial intelligence in Sage Knowledge or any individual resource will, of course, bring up some fruitful materials. But I want to point out a few specific resources that we think will be beneficial for you to know more about. In the Sage Business Suite, cases and skills are a great place to find experiential learning resources to help your learners quickly grasp these concepts. With a case like Acclima, How to Responsibly Use Generative Artificial Intelligence to Build a Green Business, students can get real-world insights into the use of AI in business, and instructors can utilize the teaching notes to build out their class materials on this topic. And with the module AI and Machine Learning in Sage Business Skills, anyone, business majors or not, can work through definitions, scenarios, videos, and more to further understand not just what AI is, but also how to conduct critical thinking about the technologies. Sage Campus is leading the way with multiple full online courses covering AI in research and learning. Courses like Leveraging Gen AI for Academic Excellence and The Art of Chat GPT Interactions with instructor Dr. Leo Lowe are here to help ease the burden of building new course materials or for your own learning. Learners are able to get a certificate of completion as well, which is sure to assist with building strong portfolios. Of course, Sage Research Methods integrates resources about using AI within research as well. From podcasts like AI in Higher Education, Ethics and Innovation, and videos such as Becoming Ethical Researchers in the Age of Artificial Intelligence, you can easily integrate these important discussions into your own LibGuides, courses, and research. Lastly, Sage Video has videos like AI Biases and AI Rapper, Who Voices Hip Hop's Future, that connects the dots from research to impacts on society and specific industries and disciplines. With these resources and so many more, like foundations for quick definitions of key concepts and theories, Sage is here to support you, your learners, and your researchers as the environment in relation to AI continues to grow and evolve. Beyond these learning materials, we also want to make sure you are aware of the work that Sage is doing to meet the current moment with thoughtfulness and ethical consideration. You can always use our publications ethics policies with a page specific to artificial intelligence to learn more about how we are considering authors and other stakeholders within our development and use of AI. And with the white paper AI and the Future of Pedagogy by Tom Chatfield that was just released, you can see the depth of Sage's dedication to supporting robust conversations on this important topic. Finally, with our AI assistant for Sage research methods in beta as we speak, you have even more to look forward to in terms of assisting learners with finding quality materials through the use of AI. We want to thank you for your time today and hope you have a phenomenal conference.